There are many important components that make up an engine. One of the most critical is the lube pump. Without it operating correctly, catastrophic engine failure will occur. Um, it's one of the most critical for it to be in proper operation. Today I will show you how to properly disassemble the oil pump, how the pieces work, and what to look for when inspecting them. Before working on any component, such as the oil pump, make sure you check the proper quick circle line procedure. This one happens to be 007-031. The first step when you are disassembling would be the lubricating oil pressure regulator. Whenever you remove this, it's under high spring tension, so it's very critical to be careful when you remove it, as it can cause bodily damage. The second component would be the upper idler gear. It has a left-hand threaded bolt, so when you remove it, make sure you turn the bolt the correct direction as to not cause damage to the bolt due to stretching. The next component to remove would be the cover plate. It's held on by 6 bolts. If you remove these, it is possible that you will need to tap the cover plate with a hammer to get it to come loose. That will then come off. The next item to remove will be your high pressure relief valve. There's a spring and a ball down in the pump, and then the actual oil pump idler gear. Once everything is disassembled, you can clean it with a suitable solvent and lay everything out neatly for inspection. Next thing will be just explain the components of what they do. Obviously, the pressure relief valve regulates the pressure, as its name implies. Without that working correctly, you either have high or low oil pressure, which neither one is good for the engine. The upper idler gear is what makes contact with the crankshaft and transfers the rotational force into the internals of the pump. The cover plate is kind of the backbone of the entire pump and locates everything and keeps everything together. And then the high pressure relief valve is a secondary safety, which if the pressure regulator cannot control the pressure, the high pressure relief is there to bleed off any excess. And the internal pumping idler gear is one of the components that actually pumps the oil to the oil pump. Now that each of the components is explained, to inspect the components for reuse, that first component would be the actual oil pump body. This is the most likely component that will be damaged due to its aluminum construction. This pump is very highly scored, but the 3 places that really need to be checked for inspection are the internal cavities for the pumping gears, the high pressure relief, and the pressure regulator. If any of these are damaged, the pump will need to be replaced. Next would be the low pressure regulator. If any of these surfaces have any damage on them that you can catch a fingernail on, they will also need to be replaced. The upper idler gear is what contacts the crankshaft. If any of the teeth have any pitting on them or anything, this can be transferred to the crankshaft and is not good. So if there's any damage, that will need to be replaced. The cover plate is what holds everything together. If there's any scoring on the top side or any loose components, that will need to be replaced. And the high pressure relief valve, the spring and ball on checked. The springs need to be checked for compression pressure as well as the free length of the spring. And then the internal pumping gears, which are very precise, they need to be checked for any pitting, scoring, or cracks. They must be precise or else oil pressure will not be what it's supposed to be. That is components that are inspected. Any of these can be followed by the progressive damage procedures. It is 111-502-007 for any damage found and can be followed from there. And that pretty much concludes my demonstration. The oil pump is a very crucial component that needs to be in proper operation for external or